Today we are going to see on the topic that is the air.
Prabhuji, I don't know Earth, right?
Sorry,
Earth.
we did Earth last time.
Oh, yeah, that's finished. Oh.
Yeah. Yes. So we are going to discuss something from what you can learn from the air. Just like the air, when it goes through the falls, it carries the water splashes or the droplets of the water, and it carries. Or when it blows over a forest where the forest fire is going on, it increases the blaze of the fire. In one case, it gives a cool, soothing feeling to the people on whom the droplets of water come, and on the other side, it burns. But in neither cases, either in the case of the carrying water droplets or the fire, the air in itself doesn't get attached to it. So, what you are going to learn from the Guru Air is that the art of moving throughout the material world without being disturbed by the externals. Whatever may be the externals, how one should not get affected by that and continue the life. So this is what the Avadhuta learned from the air. When the wind blows in many directions at once, the atmosphere becomes agitated. Similarly, if the mind is constantly attracted and repelled by material objects, there will be such mental disturbances that it will be impossible to think of the absolute truth. Therefore, one should learn from the blowing wind the art of moving throughout the material world without attachment. Otherwise, the mind becomes attached to certain things. The nature of the mind is to like and dislike. It gets, and based on the previous experiences, to some things it gets attached and some things it wants to repel or dislike. And in that, the mind becomes so much carried over that one will be completely disturbed. But rather, one should be like the wind, that wind is there, at the same time it is not attached to either the water or the fire. So one should be like that in this world. So I want all of you to recite this shloka, which comes in
Prabhuji, tomorrow is
the
any next class homework?
7th chapter and 40th verse. Yeah?
Prabhuji,
Sorry?
is it next class like homework?
You can try to memorize it. Yes, if possible. विषयेष्वाविशन् योगी नानाधर्मेषु सर्वतः गुणदोष व्यपेतात्मा न विसज्जेत वायुवत् विषयेष्वाविशन् योगी नानाधर्मेषु सर्वतः गुणदोष व्यपेतात्मा न विसज्जेत वायुवत्. Even a transcendentalist is surrounded by innumerable material objects which possesses good and bad qualities. Yes, in this world, when we are running around, there will be certain things which are good, certain things which are bad. Certain things are favorable, certain things are unfavorable. Certain things are helpful, certain things are harmful. However, one who has transcended material good and evil should not become entangled even when in contact with the material objects. Rather, he should act like the wind. So this is what the lesson learned by the Avadhuta. So what you are going to learn is not being disturbed by the externals. This is what the carry home message which we are going to take home today with different stories and analogies. So how to do it? So this famous, all of you know the
Yes,
three
Prabhuji.
monkeys. Don't see bad things, don't hear wrong things, or don't speak bad things. So what we need to do is we will be put in different situations wherein we may have to react, or we may have to see, or we have to speak certain things, or we may be tempted to do it. But in any situations, what we need to do is change the way we react to the situation if we cannot change the situation. Certain things we can make the change, and certain things we may not be able to change the situation. At that time, rather than reacting, what one should like now or trying to change the outside, what one should do is one should change how we are going to react in that situation. So that's why it is said it is very easy to bring change in oneself rather than trying to change the outside world. So there's a great saying, you be the change you want to see in the whole world. So that's why we need to make change in ourselves rather than trying to react to the situation which we cannot change. So when Shurpanaka came to meet Lord Ram and Lakshman, how did she introduce herself to Lord Ram and Lakshman? She came and told about all the demoniac qualities of herself, and she told, I am the younger sister of Ravana, and told the whole glorious Rakshasa qualities what they have. And then she said, oh Lord Ram, I have got attracted to your beauty, I want to marry you. And while telling her about herself and the brother, she said that, yes, I have one more brother who is Vibhishana. But he is very religious and very virtuous. And she doesn't tell that he is tell about his demonic qualities. And she tells he is virtuous, or he is very religious. So later we see that how Vibhishana, even though he was staying in the palace of Ravana or in the kingdom of Ravana, but he didn't got affected by the demoniac qualities of Ravana. He was there, but he didn't get affected by it. The same way we can see the small boy Prahlad was just 5 years old. He was in the school of all the demoniac children, or all others were Rakshasas. And in that school, the school of Shanda and Amaraka, they were being taught how to be duplicitous, or how to cheat others, or how to collect others' property, and how to make friends and enemies, and how to be diplomatic. These were the things which were taught there. Even though Prahlad was there, but he didn't get affected by any of those things. So the same way, we also should be, when you are in the school or when you are going outside, one may come across many kinds of people. But one should be like the air. Air is there, but at the same time, it is not attached to the water droplets or the fire. So the same way one should be detached. So Vibhishan could not change the situation of living in Lanka, but at least he could surely change the way he was reacting to the situation. So the same way, you may not be able to change others, but one should not get affected by the external things. So I'll just tell about one humorous joke about Vibhishana. Once Vibhishana was there in his palace, and he being a devotee of Lord Ram, he was constantly chanting the name of Lord Ram, Rama, Rama, Rama. And Ravana happened to pass through that area. And he just heard that somebody is chanting the name of my enemy, Rama. And he came and opened the door and he saw that Vibhishana, and he became so furious. He said, Vibhishana, how can you sing or take the name of my enemy, Rama, while being in my kingdom? Immediately, Vibhishana got up and he saw, oh, my dear brother, Ravana is there. And I'm chanting the name of my dear Lord Ram. So he didn't get fearful or something. He went to the brother and he said, laughed, oh, my dear brother Ravana, you are the Lankeshwar. You are the king of the Lanka. Do you know what is the meaning of Rama? Ravana's eye was red bloodshot. And with that, he said, you are taking my name of my enemy. Immediately, Vibhishana said,
No, Prabhuji, it was
He
name of Ram. Ram means Ravan and Ma means Mandodri.
yeah, he said that, my dear Lord Ravana, here you are Lankeshwara, you are Ravana, and your Pattarani is Mandodari. Take out the first letters, Rama, and I'm chanting both of your name, Rama, Rama, Rama. Immediately Ravana became so happy and joyful. He said, such a glorious brother I have. And he told to his soldier that go out and write everywhere the name of Rama. And tell everyone that they should chant the name Rama. Rama means Ravana Mandodari. So I'm just telling how, even though he was there amidst Ravana or such demonic people, he didn't get affected by that, just like the air. So one should try to learn this from the air. Once there was a carpenter. He was a very good worker, and the person who had employed him or his owner was very happy with his job. And when he became old, he thought of retiring. And he had decided that I'll no more work. I'll just take break and retire and have a peaceful life. He went to his owner and he told that I want to retire. I don't want to earn anymore. His owner said, I don't want to leave you because you're a good worker. But at the same time, I just have a request. Can you make one more wood house and then you can take break? As such, the carpenter had already decided that I'm not going to work anymore. At the same time, because he had worked under him for a long time, he could not refuse. He said, okay, I'll do it. But internally, he was not so happy with the proposal. He started making a house and he made a house. But when he made a house, it was, because he didn't put his heart, it was okay, but it was not so good or beautiful.
Fabulous.
Yeah, it is. If you see the house, it is not very much clean or something. Okay, it is house, but not very artistically done. So when it got over, the owner or his boss came and he came to see the wooden house. And he went around. He said, thank you for doing this. And he took out the key and handed over. I wanted to give this as a gift to
You.
you. Immediately the person became shocked, the carpenter. Alas, this is the house I'm going to live the rest of my life. I didn't do it properly. Many things I just did it to complete the job. And I was not expecting this. If at all, if I had put my whole heart, I could have made it a wonderful, beautiful, artistic house, and I could have stayed in that. But instead, I didn't put my heart, and I have to stay in this. The same way it is said that life is a do-it-yourself project. That means we have to do ourselves. So our life tomorrow will be the result of our attitude and choices we make today. So that's why we need to be very careful not to be lazy or something, or not to get carried away, but do it in a rightful way, wholeheartedly. Otherwise, later will repent. So that's why try to change the way you react nicely to the situations given in your life rather than repairing it later. Because now the carpenter cannot go back and make it new or proper. So rather than repenting it later, better to do it nicely right now from now. That's why one should be very careful, just like the air, even though it may pass through the very ugly place, but it doesn't get attached to those ugly things. The same way, while growing up, you may come across people who may be having bad mentality, bad attitudes, or bad habits. You may be with them in the class or moving around, but don't get affected by that. You make your right choices so that later you don't have to repent. Another point is know your skill sets and don't care how the world expects you to behave. Be yourself. Just like the what air, it may carry the water droplets or it may carry the increase the flame of the fire, but it doesn't get affected by those things or it doesn't change itself. So this famous story, all of you know that how there was a grandson and the grandfather. One day they were going taking the donkey. Initially, the grandfather thought that let me make my grandson sit on the donkey, and he made him sit. After traveling for some time, people started speaking that see this small boy, he is sitting and making the grandfather walk. Then immediately they swapped their places. Grandfather sat on the top, and then he got down. And then after some time, people started see such a foolish people. Grandfather is so old, and he's sitting on the donkey, and then he is making the small boy walk. Such a foolish people that they could have sat on the top. And then he made his grandson also sit on the top. They walked for a while, and the people again started laughing. Such a cruel people. Two people are sitting on the donkey and they started carrying the donkey. So, like this, no matter what one does in this world, people will comment. So, just because the world expects you to behave in some way, you should not change your nature. As long as our behavior principles of God and scriptures, it is fine. Don't care for what the world has to say. Sometimes you may go to the school with a nice tilak and people may laugh at it. And some people may, when you wear bangles or some good necklace or something, people may say, "Hey, come on, you are a old, what you can say, the um, traditional and all." And people, I know some of them. Even one of my cousin's daughter, she said that I don't want to wear the bangles or the bindi or any of those things because my friends laugh at me. So just because they are laughing, we don't have to stop what we accept as the right thing. So, so once in there was a company in which the people who were working were quite religious and it was owned by an orthodox Hindu person. And every day before starting the job, there would be prayer and there would be arati. Because of that, everyone were very religious and most of them would apply tilak. And eventually, when the person became old, he thought of selling this company to someone else. At that time, there was a Muslim person who came and took up the company. And when he came, he said, from tomorrow onwards, nobody should wear any tilak. He passed the resolution. So the notice went to everyone and everyone read and they started discussing, oh, we had such good owner before, but now because the owner has changed, we have to follow him, otherwise we'll lose our job. So better I think we should not wear. And somewhere, oh, I want to wear, but I cannot. Somewhere think, okay, anyways, we have to bear with whatever happens. And the next day when it came, the morning when everyone came without tilak, except one person who came with tilak. And the owner came and asked, I had told that nobody should come with a tilak. But how is that you have come? Are you not afraid that you lose your job for not following me? He said, Sir, I respect you. But at the same time, I respect my own certain way of following. So I'm not doing any wrong things, or I'm fulfilling whatever the job criteria is there and everything, but I cannot leave this. So seeing that, the owner said, okay, from tomorrow onwards, you can come with tilak, not others. Because all others, they were not sticking to their own beliefs, but they just changed with the situation. So you can come with the tilak. So what moral we can learn from this story is that if you change your nature expecting to please others, you're actually displeasing them. Be yourself. Being yourself, you can contribute better to the world than artificially imitating others. So once there was one person, Ramesh, he thought, I don't do the things in a good way, or I don't speak the right way. So I'll follow my friend Sham. So I'll speak the way the Sham speaks. I'll do the way the Sham does. And after some days, the Sham, he was not satisfied with the way he was speaking and he was doing. He wanted to follow the way the Ram does. And then the Ramesh started thinking that I wanted to be like the Sham, but Sham is following Ram, then I should follow like the Sham who is following the Ram. And the Ram was not happy with the way he was doing. He wanted to do the way the Deepak was speaking and doing. And the Ramesh got confused. Now I wanted to follow the Sham, but he's following the Ram, but he's following the like no Ramesh. So then finally he found out that the person whom he wanted to follow is following him. So ultimately, that's why don't try to be yourself and you cannot be like others. Be what you are. We don't have to be like others. We all have to be what we are. And when we try to artificially try to be like others, that is the time we utterly fail. If I try to speak or act or do things the way other does, well, I cannot be like him. Because certain things are made in such a way that it cannot be changed. So that's why it is better to be ourselves, not just get carried away with the situations. Just like the air doesn't get affected. Just like don't get attached to things you come in contact with. That's what again one more thing what we can learn. Just like the air may pass through the stool and carry a very bad, ugly smell. When it comes, we may want to close our nose. And the same when it passes through the perfume, it wants to continuously take in the fragrance. But in either case, the air is not getting affected. The same air might have passed through the both the things. Or just simple thing is that the same air there in the our washroom and there will be a room freshener. The same air passes through both, but it carries the aroma, but still it doesn't get affected by both of them. The same way, air retains its identity even in the midst of all disturbances or attractions. The air does not get attached to either good or bad objects. Although it interacts with them and comes in contact with them, for the moment of time which it has to be in touch, it stays and then it proceeds further as if it has no relation to that object. The same way, you may be walking, as I said again, with different kinds of people. You may be with them, but don't get carried away with their mentality or the way of doing. You be yourself. At the same time, yes, you can take the good things, but especially don't get affected by the bad things. So, just like the A doesn't get attached, once there was a rich person. When he became old, he thought of retiring himself and wanted to lead a simple life of a sadhu. So he was still staying in his bungalow. He had the workers, maids, and all, but still he was trying to lead as simple life as possible, trying to minimize the needs. One day, a sadhu beggar came and he saw and he interacted with him and he said that the rich person said that I want to lead a life of a sadhu, so I'm trying to minimize. Immediately he said, oh, if that is the case, then you should not be staying in this big bungalow and all. You should go to Vrindavan and there you should stay. Immediately the rich person said, oh, is it? Then I'll leave everything and I'll go to Vrindavan. And this beggar sadhu, he said, I am also going to Vrindavan. If you wish, I can take you there. The rich person said, yes, I'm very happy to come. And immediately he started. They walked for little distance. And immediately the beggar sadhu who had come to his house, he realized that I have forgotten my kamandalu at your bungalow. I'll just go and get my kamandalu. And immediately
Takes his bungalow, I think.
the rich person said, but you are supposed to be a sadhu who has renounced everything, but how is that you have attached to your kamandal or the pot? So the rich man taught the beggar saying that moving through the material world without any attachment to externals, even though he was staying in a big place, he was not attached, whereas the beggar saint or the sadhu, he may not have had much things, but he was attached to his small water pot or the kamandalu. So that's why sometimes you may be attached to little things which you may have, and you may be seeing fault in others. So that's why whether we have or not, don't get attached to those things. So this, when it comes to the attachment, we can take this example of the stamp or post-it. Many of you might be aware that when the stamps, when you try to remove it from the envelope, some part of the stamp sometimes sticks to the envelope and the part of the envelope paper gets stuck to the stamp, or sometimes it may get torn. Correct? Because it is both is attached to each other. Whereas you all know the post-it sticky papers.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yes. So the sticky paper is such that even if you put at 10 places, you can put and remove it, still it doesn't get affected or it doesn't tear it, or neither the sticky paper remains with the page or the page doesn't come on the paper. So what we can learn from this is, just like the post-it does not leave any trace of its connection or attachment to the paper, similarly we should learn not to be attached to things we like. When we are connected, we should be firmly attached, but the moment we are disconnected, we should leave no trace of attachment. We should not behave like a stamp who is badly attached to the envelope, that when he is asked to detach from the envelope, he tears off the envelope. Sometimes one may be given certain, when you are in the school, suppose if you are made as a class leader, okay, till the time you are there, you do your duty properly. And the moment in the next year or after 2 months, if they say, okay, we are going to change the class leader and we are going to make someone else. Okay, fine. Till the time I am there, I'll do it properly. And when you are removing me, I'm not affected by it. That's what I can learn from the post-it or the what you can say that sticky paper. Otherwise, if you are like the stamp, then we'll start crying. Oh, I was the leader. I did this. I did that. I want to be the leader. Continue. But rather, things they come and go. Don't get attached to those things. Because many times, what we see this Pratyaksha Praman, what we see through our eyes, may not be fully reliable. Once a Westerner had come to India, and when he asked one of his friends while walking away, passing through, what is this fruit? He said that this is called a jackfruit. Seeing that,
You told this at the first day.
yeah, but it
You
was
hadn't told it.
little different from that. And then he had perceived the notion that jackfruit means it's so big and it's like kind of the what you can say that the thorny.
Prabhuji is like
Yeah.
a pinchy.
Yeah. So then the next day he went to another person's house and he brought it in a plate. He gave the nice pulp of the jackfruit. When he ate it, he said that, wow, so tasty, juicy. Which fruit is this? He said, this is jackfruit. Really? But yesterday I saw the jackfruit and I was expecting that jackfruit means like that. But it is so tasty. So that's why what we perceive through our eyes may not be the reality, which is the actuality. So we can understand that many times what we see is not always reliable. We have to either experience it ourselves or hear from proper authority to understand something. So external world may try to show us many things which seems fun, but those things may not always be good for our lives. So many things may be portrayed or shown that it is very important, it is needed, it's good, or it is bombarded. I know I don't have the video, but I could have shown you that. Any of you have seen this bingo, I'm bingo video?
Prabhuji, I'm bingo video? I didn't see.
Okay.
No,
I'll just,
Prabhuji.
I'll just narrate it. I don't have the video, but once there was one small boy, he comes to a circus. And the moment before entering, he was told, you are bingo. He says, I'm not bingo. He enters inside, he sits. And a clown comes and says, you are bingo. He says, I'm not bingo. And the 10 people, whoever comes, they all come and tell him, you are bingo. And so much bombardment, you are bingo, you are bingo. Everybody tells you are bingo. And by the time he comes out of the circus, he says, yes, I am bingo, the clown. Why? Because it was so much bombarded. The same way, the advertisement industry, the nature of the advertisement industry is to bombard things. Have you ever seen that the vegetables or the carrot or the pineapple is being advertised? Have you ever seen the rice or the dal is advertised?
No,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I have seen wheat
Yeah, wheat is there, but otherwise,
and rice. That's it, Prabhuji. Wheat and rice.
yeah,
Prabhuji, we have never seen vegetables, fruits, and all.
correct. Because generally the basic or the necessities of the life does not have to be advertised because anyways one is going to take it. What is advertised is the luxury things or the which may not be the basic needs. So why advertisement has to be done? That means the people don't know about it or they may not go for it so that it is so nicely shown so that people hanker for it and want to see it. It is like that, like Pratyaksha Pramana, what is seen is not the reality. He perceived it wrongly, right? The same way, just like the analogy of the coconut. The coconut, if it is seen from the outside, it looks very hard. When we feel, oh, coconut means it is hard, I think it is good. I can use it for hitting something or doing something hard work. But when it opens, the inner pulp is soft. The same way, what is actually seen may not be the reality. Many times we may get cheated. Seeing the advertisement, I'm sure, pretty sure that many of you might have purchased or gone for something which you thought it is really very fantastic or wonderful, but later you ended up, acha, this is only, I didn't like it or I was not expecting this.
So it happened to me with like some pens. I was going to buy some of those pens. Like they in the advertise, it showed like it was so good and writing very neatly. So I, like it was gel pen, so I bought it. And I understood that it was like a halfly ball pen, a halfly gel pen, and it didn't write that properly also.
Okay, here is
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, my friend had told me, Prabhuji, means, like not my friend Prabhuji, somebody had told me, like, or I had seen Prabhuji, that this pen is nice. So I had bought it, but there was no refill only, Prabhuji.
See, all of, yeah.
Prabhuji, and once I had seen an advertisement that oil paste colors were good, but when I bought them, they were totally oily. They look like oil.
Okay.
Prabhuji, my mother was bringing the dress from the Facebook. My mother have given now only, tomorrow only, mom have given that 400 or 500 rupees for one dress. Then it is first day it showed that it will come at Sunday. Then it was showing that nothing it is showing, and
Yeah.
till now it is not messaging also and not coming.
Okay.
Prabhuji, like I had once seen that you can paint beautifully with acrylic paints, and then when I bought it, I then realized that it was the wrong type, the wrong sort. I had needed some other sort of acrylic paints.
So that's why one should be very careful in one's life. So it's our duty to understand from the wind how not to fall for temptations, especially the temptations of advertisements and bombardments. So that's why you may see many advertisements and don't just go by that. Just like I gave the example of the jackfruit as well as the coconut, try to examine and then go for it. Otherwise, we may end up lamenting that why did I go for it?
Even for provoking, right?
Yes, one should not get provoked also. So we need to understand the disturbance is the creation of the mind, and all the attachments are the creations of the mind. Once the grandfather had come to meet his grandchildren, and when the grandfather lied down, the grandson took a certain kind of cheese which smells little not so good, and he had applied on the grandfather's mustache. And when the grandfather after some time he got up, he started smelling, hey, some bad smell is coming, I think there is something stinking in the room. And then he went out of the room. He said, here also the smell is coming. He went to every room, and everywhere room he said it is stinking only. And he went outside. There also he said it is stinking.
Stinking everywhere.
Correct. Why? Because
Prabhuji, maybe the smell is from him only.
yeah, the same way all the disturbances, they are, the mind is with us. We cannot remove it. Just like the mustache cannot be removed, he could not see his own mustache. The same way, many of the things, the disturbances are because of our own mind.
Or karma.
All the attachments to different things are also the creations of the mind. The mind has seen previously, oh, it is good and it is bad, and which is good, for that it gets attached, for which it has felt bad, it gets rejected. Just the same example, the person, he thought the jackfruit is not good, or it is very difficult to eat, or not such a tasty fruit, but rather it was something else only, because it was it was a creation of his mind. The same way attachments also are creations of the mind. So don't get attached. The world appears to you according to the state of your mind. So the solution is, rather than change the world and stop all the disturbing things happening around the world, rather it would be better that we focus on training our minds. So when the mind is peaceful, then what happens is it doesn't get attached to any of the things, good or bad, and it will be peaceful. Otherwise, we are carrying mind with ourselves, and with that we are carrying attachments, and that in turns make our mind disturbed. This story I have told once. Two friends were walking around the bank of the river, and at that time they happened to see one lady. She was about to drown and she was asking for the help, and both of them were celibates, or like monks. And they thought, oh, we are monks, how can we help? But one
Yes,
of them,
Prabhuji, you told the story.
yeah, he jumped and he brought her out and saved, and she thanked and she left. And they walked for another 2 hours, and the friend who had brought, he saw at the other one and he said, something is going on in your mind, why you are feeling a little disturbed? Then the other friend said, I'm really thinking that how is that you being a monk, you could lift a woman and bring her out? And this friend said, see, actually I brought her out of the water and I left her there only, but you have carried in your mind from past 2 hours. The same way, ultimately a man of true character can hold ground in such temptations and not be influenced by externals. He was carrying it in his.
I know like that story also one. Prabhuji, can I share?
At the end, I'll request you. Yeah. So that's why internal purity protects from external influences. So if our internal consciousness is pure, mind is pure, then we don't get affected by the external things. So one was internally he didn't had any attachment or attraction for the women. So he just brought her out as a duty and left her there. But the other one, he was internally, externally he had not attached, but internally he was attached. So that's why here we saw in the previous one also that we should work on our mind. What is my state of mind? And when the mind is clean, then it will not get attached to anything, by which we don't get disturbed. So how it is relevant that when we see that God's hand in every situation in our life, we put our endeavor from our side and accept that the result is not in our hand, but it is in the Lord's hand. At that time, all things, whatever comes, they happen to pass over, whether the good or the bad, and we don't get attached to them nor get carried away by them. Just like the wind doesn't get affected by good or bad things, in the good time or in the bad time, we don't get affected. We can be like the wind without any attachments. So otherwise, if we get attached, if the wind becomes thinks that, oh, scent smell is good, it gets attached to it and it goes with it, and when the smell of any garbage comes, then immediately it feels, oh, I don't want it, and with that it gets disturbed. So in short, just to summarize, I'll just go slide by slide. So we saw that how not being disturbed by the externals is the lessons what we learned from the air. That's what the Avadut Brahmana had learned from air and is teaching us. And we saw that we have to change the way we react rather than when we cannot change the external situations. We saw from the three monkey story. And also we saw that how Vibhishana, even though he was staying in the Lanka, he was not affected by the demoniac or asuric qualities of the Ravana. Same way, the Prahlad also I gave the example. And the carpenter's house, we saw that we learned that how life is a do-it-yourself project. That means we should be careful what we are doing right now, otherwise later we repent and later we cannot repair. So rather than that, try to do right things, right, or good things in a right way right from now. And also we discussed that one should know one's skill set and don't care about what world expects or how you should behave. You be for yourself. The story of the grandson, donkey, and the grandfather we saw. So, and we learned that if you are following the scriptures, be yourself. Don't have to hear to the others, and you cannot satisfy everyone in this world. And for this, I also give the example of how there was a company in which everybody were wearing tilak, but later when the company owner got changed, only one person wore, and the owner said, yes, you can wear because you are sticking to your principles. The same way, stick to the principles. Don't get just carried away. Also, just like the air doesn't get attached to the foul smell or the good smell, the same way one should not get attached to good or bad things when one comes in contact with. Yes, one can take, especially good things one can learn, but don't get affected by the bad things. So I gave the example also of being a class leader, and when you are changed, don't become attached. It is there, you take care of it very nicely, but when you are asked to give it up, give it up. The same way, sometimes you may have a toy, and when the mother asks, okay, give the toy to your younger son or the brother or somebody, give it. Don't be too much attached to it because it is there today and tomorrow it's gone. So that's what we can learn from the air. And also we learned from the stamp or the paste it or the sticky note, that how we should be like the stamp and we should not be like the sticky note, correct?
Prabhuji, can you recap this again? Stamp or the post?
Be like the post-it and not like the stamp.
Okay, yes, thank you. We should be like post-it or stamp. That's what I wanted to ask.
Prabhuji, post it.
Okay, yes.
Sticky note.
We should be like the post-it.
Sticky note.
Stamp. Yes, sticky note. Thank you. And also, I said how what we see, the Pratyaksha Praman, cannot give us a complete real picture. And I gave the example of jackfruit. So I said that many times, like the coconut, externally it appears to be very hard, but internally soft. The same way, many times, many things are bombarded, and lot of things will be advertised, but don't get affected and fall prey to temptations. Otherwise, later you will lament. Many of you told your own examples. And also, finally, understand that the disturbance is the creation of the mind, and that the disturbance, the mind, what it does is, creates the attachments because of which one feels the disturbances. So one should work on the mind rather than trying to change outside. Just like the grandfather, the mustache, the what do you call, the cheese being stuck to his mustache, that I just. And ultimately, the true character of a man, like one who has true character, even in the temptations, he can be not get swayed away. Otherwise, one may get swayed away by the externals. So that's why I just told that how one should be careful and work on the internal purity, by which one can save oneself from the external influences. That will help us to be like the air. Otherwise, we may get swayed away with the different things which we come in contact with. So that's why I said all things, they come and go. One should not get affected by them. I'll just end this story end this with the story that I've told this. Once there was a king who announced that if somebody can give me a ring by which, seeing which, if I'm happy, I should become sad, and if I'm sad, I should
When
become
I'm
happy.
sad, I should become happy.
Yeah. And then he said nobody could do it, and he said, announced it in the prison. If anybody gives me such a gift, then I'll reward them by allowing them to set out of the jail. One of the jail, the prisoner, he gave him a ring, and king was really impressed, and he allowed him to go out of the jail. And others were curious, hey, what did he give, or what? This, he said that ring. What was so special about the ring? He said I had written something. They were eager to know what was written on that. And what was
This
it?
too shall pass away.
Yes, this too shall pass away. When we understand that this too shall pass away, then even when temptations come, or even when wrong people are there, we don't just get carried away with the externals. We can be like the air that yes, it has come. I should not get carried away with it. Even many advertisements may bombard you, but you will not go with those advertisements. You will try to understand what actually the jackfruit is, and then you try to come to the conclusion not just by externally seeing it. So these were few things which I could gather and I could share with all of you. So thank you very much. If any of you have any queries
No,
or
Prabhuji,
questions,
shall I share the story?